Hello fellow coders, welcome back to the Code G. I'm happy to have you here for another exciting dive into the world of tech. In the previous chapter, we discussed the web browser. Today, we'll dive straight into chapter 4, where we're going to talk about web hosting. I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. Web hosting is a service where you place your website and files on the hosting company's web server. You're essentially renting the space in return for a stable and secure storage. And you don't need to be a company to use a web host. Individuals can rent space too. In this video, you will learn about the different types of web hosting services that you can use for your website and web applications. First, let me share with you some of the different hosting options available. This can include shared hosting, virtual private hosting, dedicated hosting, and cloud hosting. Let's explore each of these hosting types in a little more details now. The cheapest form of web hosting is known as shared hosting. You pay for a location on a web server containing many web hosting accounts with shared hosting. This means that you also share the service processing power, memory, and bandwidth with other websites that might slow your performance. This option is best for a small website with a small number of visitors. Many developers also use this as a low-cost sandbox environment to practice deploying or hosting their personal websites. Some companies offer free shared hosting, but with limitation, and often have advertisement embedded in the web pages. Sites with more considerable demands use Virtual Private Service or VPS. A VPS is a virtual server with dedicated CPU, memory, and bandwidth resources. It will be running on a hardware server with other VPS instances, but as the resources are fixed per VPS instance, your website is unlikely to be impacted by the performance of other VPS instances. A VPS instance will be more expensive than shared hosting. The next option up is to use dedicated hosting. Dedicated hosting is a hardware server that is dedicated to you only. All hardware CPU, memory, and bandwidth resources are yours to use. Generally, this option is more expensive than a VPS hosting. The last type of web hosting is something you may have heard of. It's cloud hosting. Cloud hosting and the cloud has grown in popularity over the last decade and is often mentioned in various news and services you use. With cloud hosting, your website is run in something called the cloud environment, which spans across multiple physical and virtual servers. If a physical or virtual server fails, your website will run on a different server and stay online. The main advantage of cloud hosting is that you can use as many resources as you need without hardware limitation. However, you pay based on the resource you use. For example, if you transfer a file from the cloud to a web browser, you'll pay for the bandwidth used for that transfer at a fractional cent cost per megabyte. While this can quickly become more expensive, it allows websites and web applications to scale their cost as popularity grows. This is how many of the major web applications operate. So, in conclusion, in this video, we learned about web hosting and the different hosting options available to individuals and companies. That's the end of chapter 4. Stay tuned for more web basics in the next chapters. If you enjoyed the content, please give it a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, happy coding, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and peace.